This video is about like how I love Deftones so much, like, or like no, like the reason why I like them so much. Now, Deftones, like I don't know that much about them. I've been listening to them for about like since I was in middle school. So, I know people are like, wait, you've been listening to them since middle school and you haven't like dived deep into them. I mean, there's a lot of bands that I've listened to like 500 bands. Probably, I know a lot of bands. I used to have a music channel. I used to have a channel. Maybe I should re-upload. Maybe I should re-upload these videos. Actually, I used to have a channel. I took it down because of drama, and I was getting too off topic with it. But I should re-upload these videos. I made like a video series talking about all the favorite bands, like all of my favorite bands, basically. I should re-upload those if I can find them on my computer. Um, But one of those bands was Deftones. Now, my favorite band is Fields of the Nephilim, which is a very underrated band that most people have not heard of. It's a goth band. My second favorite band would be Tool, and my third favorite band would be Faith No More. I'm looking at my posters right now. I only have 3 of those posters. I'm thinking about maybe putting some more on my wall, maybe. I don't know what my fourth favorite band would be. Probably Nine Inch Nails. I don't think it would be Deftones. I think Deftones would be the fifth one. But yeah, I don't know that much about Deftones, even though I've been listening to them on and off. That's why, you know. So I haven't. So ever since middle school, like I haven't dived deep into the history of them, and in fact, I haven't even listened to. I haven't listened to the whole discography yet. You know what I mean? Like I'm like that with a lot of bands, though. Like I'd say 99% of the bands I listen to, I there's a lot of material that I never got around to. And I'm talking about old material. Like I'm not even talking about the new stuff. I can't my voice down. I can't my voice down. I still live with my parents. I still live with my parents. I'm like 30 years old and I still live with my parents. Speaking of me changing my voice, to get to the main point of why I love Deftones so much, the reason why I love Deftones, like, I think the first, sorry if you hear me clicking, the first, um, trying to find something here. The first song I think I ever heard from Deftones was on the radio. Again, when I was like in middle school, I think the song was Bored. If you just look up Bored, like literally if you just look up Bored on YouTube, you'll find like their song probably like it'd be one of the top searches probably. I liked it. It's not my number one favorite song, and it's not objectively their best song. Like I'm speaking, okay, maybe I won't say objectively because I don't want to offend people. I don't want to offend people, but subjectively, I don't think it's their best song. I think it's it's a good song, but it's kind of primitive to that era of Deftones is kind of primitive to the later stuff that they have done. Again, no disrespect to the band or the song or the people that like that song or the people that like the band. You know what I mean? Even if that song, I don't even know. Like I said, I don't dive. I don't see the thing with me is I don't dive too deep into what lyrics mean for a lot of the bands. Like 99% of bands I listen to, I just listen to fucking music, right? The only time I dive deep into what does this song mean, what the lyrics mean, is if either like it is such a catchy song, I want to know like what the fuck does this mean, or the lyrics don't make no sense, or the lyrics are just something interesting, right? That's the only time I dive deep into the lyrics, right, of any band. But usually I don't. Usually, if a singer says, "I'm going down a hill and I'm sick of taking this pill or something stupid like that," I don't even like look it up. I'm just like, yeah, whatever that means. Sometimes bands don't reveal what the meaning of their songs even mean. Like there is, I can't think of an example of a band that does that, but there is some bands where they never say what the song meant at all, or they do, but it's like, oh, it's you kind of have to like decipher it yourself, and you have to figure it out. Like you have to figure it out, kind of the fans have to figure it out, kind of a thing, puzzle piece, kind of a thing. And then there's bands where they just flat out say, yeah, it's about some crazy ex or something. But basically, the reason why I'm edging this video way and gooning this video way too long, but the reason why I like Deftones a lot is because Chino Moreno's voice. when again, I gotta keep my voice down. I gotta keep my voice down because I still live with my parents, even though I'm 30. And I want to explain that. When I heard his voice, and this kind of goes beyond Deftones because there's a lot of bands that are like this, and in the metal scene too. When I heard his voice, I said to myself, like it basically made me feel like, because like to talk about me for a little bit, I was always insecure about my voice, like not even just as like a musician, like just in general. And then I started doing music, and it's just like my voice sounds too young. And then I started making metal music, and it's like it doesn't match. It doesn't match. But well, I started making music after I heard Deftones. But then, like I'm making this music, and I'm like, wait a minute. The music that you're making kind of reminds you of that band that you discovered in middle school. I'm like, oh yeah, the Deftones or Tool or something or Smashing. See, the reason why I love Deftones so much is basically what the band taught me. Like not personally, like I've never personally like met the band or met the singer or anything, but like by listening to his voice, he basically like he taught me and the band taught me that it's okay to have a mid-range voice or even a high voice, because I've always been insecure about my voice speaking wise and in my music. It's like it doesn't sound masculine enough. It doesn't sound deep Marilyn Manson. It doesn't sound like Mike Patton in his Angel Dust era or his later albums era. Like it doesn't sound deep. It doesn't sound deep. Kind of does there. But when I was to Deftones, I'm thinking like it's okay. Like it's okay to be falsetto and whispery and even a little bit high sometimes. Like it's okay. Like, and when I was hearing that, and again, and I wasn't making music when I heard Deftones when I was in middle school. I wasn't making music at all. I don't think I was. There was no like there was no. I wasn't good at any instruments, and there was no programs that I was using at the time, if they even existed. Yeah. But yeah, and then I'm listening to this, and like before I started making music, when I first heard Deftones, I said, okay, I feel a little bit better about my voice. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to have a functional falsetto voice. Again, I'm not saying I sound feminine or like very high. Like I'm not saying I sound feminine. I'm not saying I sound female high like a woman or feminine or very like I hate to say this, but like gay, like vocal fry, like what up, girls? Like can't do it, I can't do that voice, like I'm bisexual, but I'm not saying like I sound like that, but I sound too whispery. And like I said, when I heard Deftones, again, this was in middle school, wasn't making any music at the time. I said I feel better about my voice talking wise, right? Again, years later when I started making music and I'm just like, why is my voice not matching the metal? Like I can't get it to sound deep and whatever. And then I'm like, wait a minute, it kind of sounds like that one band. What's that one band that I used to listen to that I still kind of do, but I forgot the name of it for a split second. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Deftones. And then it just made me feel better, you know what I mean? But it goes beyond Deftones now. Tool kind of has that voice too. I understand Maynard James Keenan, he kind of like sometimes he kind of goes low. Kind of like Peter Murphy, like his voice kind of bellows. Like, but sometimes Maynard, like, I'm getting a little bit off topic here, but sometimes Maynard does kind of have like a, who are you to judge me because I'm waving my finger at you, kind of a thing, Sorry, I thought I heard some noise in the background. Again, I gotta keep my voice down. But yeah, like even the singer from Tool, like even his voice gets a little bit high up there in the range sometimes. Smashing Pumpkins specifically, like I'm surprised a lot of people don't compare my vocals to Smashing Pumpkin, Billy Corgan, because literally, like in a lot of my songs, I'll sing like this, and then I'll get a little nasally. Like I'm surprised no one, like I'm not even like 99% of the time, I'm not even trying to emulate Smashing Pumpkins, or like I'm not usually influenced by them, but I can hear an unintentional influence. There is songs I have made that have been like 100% influenced by Smashing Pumpkins, don't get me wrong. But then those songs I made where I wasn't, but people could be like, it sounds like Alice in Chains or Smashing Pumpkins or Mike Patton, Faith No More, or kind of like nasally. Or even like the Mars Volta. Or even like the Mars Volta, like the singer kind of has like a nasally voice, kind of, but then he kind of sounds like Freddie Mercury when he does the high range shit, like the I can't do that. Like I can't do that fucking crazy. Like he sounds like I'm not. I love the singer from Mars Volta, but like I gotta be honest. Like no disrespect to the singer, but I thought there was a woman in the band at one point when I first heard them. Like he doesn't even sound feminine. He sounds like a legit female at times, and I'm not saying that with any disrespect at all. That's actually pretty fucking impressive to sound like a man 1 minute, not like a manly man, like a nasally man, and then like a high pitched woman out. Like that's very. I think you know what I think his name is Cedric. I think Cedric did say in an interview that his vocal range is in the location of dude sounds like a woman or something. So I think even he kind of like made a joke about his voice. I think at one point in that interview. I don't know. Kind of, and it's funny because Deftones did tour with the Mars Volta. I think, or they opened up a show or something like that recently. Or well, I'm recording this in 2025, so yeah, I trailed off way off topic. But the reason why I love Deftones, and just bands like them again, Tool, Smashing Pumpkins, Faith No More, the Mars Volta, is the voices. Like the voices, it's just outside the range of a normal man. Don't get me wrong, I like the band's instrumental pieces too, along with the voice. It's not like I like the bands just because of the singer. I do like the guitar pieces and the drums and all that stuff. But even fucking Trent Reznor kind of has like an ASMR voice. I think the songs by Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, I think those songs where he doesn't even reverb his voice. Like there's some songs. I know I'm trailing off topic here. There's some Nine Inch Nails songs where Trent Reznor starts like he does that speaking shit that he does, and he's just like, everything's so fucked up right now, and it's like there's no like echo to his voice. I like that. It's like very ASMR-ish. But this has trailed off way too topic. But this is the reason why I like Deftones. Again, I like the band itself. Like I like how it's chuggy, and it's like I love the guitar tone so much. Like I love the guitar. I love the guitar tone in the White Pony era, and then the self-titled album, I think, and then the other albums and shit like that. But and the drums too. The fucking drums, dude. Imagine if they were like like, imagine if they were like a digital hardcore band. Like I have made like I make breakcore metal, or I make breakcore, and I sometimes mix it with metal. Like I've made songs that kind of have those like drums, like you know what I mean. Like in the White Pony era, I like the drums that they do on that album so much. Like imagine if like they were like a breakcore metal band. Like that would just fit so well. I've done songs like that where I'm like emulating Chino's voice overlaid within like a breakcore metal kind of a thing. But yeah, they're a great band. I really should catch up on their discography, how the fuck you pronounce it. I there's I don't even know if I even that Diamond album or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't even know if I even listened to all of the songs off of that album, and it's been years since I listened to that. Or I don't know. Again, I pick and choose songs off of albums. Diamond Eyes, yeah. I don't even know if I even listened to all the songs off of this album. I've been listening to this album since middle school, but I don't know if I checked out all the songs ever. Prince, that doesn't really, I don't know if I've heard that one. But yeah, they're great. They're basically, in a nutshell, they're a great band. It's okay if they're not your thing, you know. Um, cause I have met people, I have met friends and people where they have liked some of my music tastes, but not others. Like I used to know someone personally that said they didn't like Bauhaus. I'm like, okay, whatever, that's fine. Um, and then one person said they do like Tool, and it's like, okay. But yeah, I don't really care if people like my music taste or not. This is what I like. Like, I don't care if you like it. This is what I like. So yeah, I'm gonna end this, I guess. But yeah, that's why I like Deftones is because the dude's voice. Like, I feel like okay, because like I said, what I was trying to get at, I don't think I finished my sentence actually with this. A lot of male singers, or just males in general, they have a very mid deep voice. Like, it's not a true mid voice where it's slap dab in the middle. Like, I'd say Maynard James Keenan, like, when he speaks, like, not even just him singing, like the singer from Tool, not even when he's singing, like, when I see him on Joe Rogan's podcast, I was very shocked by his talking. Excuse me, hiccups. Very shocked by his talking voice. I would have expected it to be like actually super low, and he's pretending it's a little bit higher. Because there is singles like that where they sing very high and then they're kind of like this, or vice versa. There's male singles like that, you know. You know, these male singles where they sing really they sing really low, but their talking voice is like this. Oh, they sing like this, but then they're like this. I don't know, like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. But I was very like shocked by Maynard's voice of how just mid it is. And when I say mid, I don't mean like the slang. I know the word mid is like slang now. It's like an internet slang. No, I mean like the original definition of being mid, like in the middle, like not being just not being offensive when I say mid. I mean his voice is really like slap dab in the middle. Um, of the of those hertz, you know, HERTZ, like you know, it's slap dab in the middle, you know. Um, but what I'm trying to get at, I'm edging this, gooning this video way too much, like Deftones with the sexy music. That's a whole different video. Um, I don't really get the whole sexualization of Deftones. Like, not all those songs are sexual. I understand like the vocal, like the vibe, like the vocal vibe, and like some of the songs, like there's a song, you know, like I know some of those songs are kind of like sexual, or at least give sexual vibes, even if the lyrics are not sexual, like whatever. But I don't know. What I'm trying to get is that most men have deep voices in speaking and singing. And if it's not deep, it's like mid. It's mid leaning on deep, or it's just totally deep. So basically, what I'm trying to get at is when I heard something different from a male, especially in music, I said, "Wow," you know. Now I know I'm gonna get some hate and say, "Sounds like you never listened to Freddie Mercury because he had a higher voice, or Led Zeppelin because he had a higher voice." Guys, I'm talking about in metal. Like I'm convinced, like Deftones was like the first band to really like. I could be wrong. I'm convinced Deftones was the first band ever, or one of the first bands ever, um, metal bands. One of the first metal bands ever. Like, either one of the first or whatever. They were a very prominent figure in the metal scene when it came to the rah, but then the oh, oh no, oh yes, oh no, you know, the I don't know if I brung it up in this video, or because I made another video about Deftones. I don't know if I brung it up in this one or the other one, but I mean it's the Bible. It's what, if you go on Wikipedia and you look up alternative metal, it's what's referred to as bipolar vocals. Like one minute you're just sound pissed off, and it's just like, but I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit happy right now. I'm a little bit horny. I don't want to get too much into that, but you know. I don't want to get too much into that. Like I'm pissed off, but then it's like kind of like the wedding singer. I wrote half of it when I was in love with her, and I wrote half of it when I was, like even in the fucking wedding singer. Like, oh my god, Adam Sandler kind of like was like Deftoney. Like, even though the movie was supposed to be about the 80s, but like he kind of predicted, like Nirvana and Deftones kind of in a way, because he's just like, I don't know what the lyrics were on that movie, but he's just like, you matter so much to me, but it's all just bullshit. Like he basically like predicted alternative metal, like his character did, like not the movie, right? Because I don't even know when that movie came out. Actually, The Wedding Singer. I don't know. I'm trailing off topic here. You know, I gotta keep my voice down. Adrenaline by Deftones came out in 1995, but Wedding Singer's movie came out in 1998. Okay. Oh yeah, Around the Fur was 1997. Maybe Adam Sandler was influenced by Deftones when he made that. It's funny because Deftones is influenced by The Cure. Because he's like, oh, I've been listening to The Cure a lot. That's what he said in the movie. So maybe he was combining. That's kind of a stretch to say that Adam Sandler was influenced by The Cure and Deftones when he did that scene. It's a little bit, well, definitely The Cure, but not. I don't know about Deftones. It's a little bit of a stretch. But yeah, if you go on alternative metal Wikipedia, it says examples include alternative metal bands associated with the new metal movement, such as Korn and Deftones, have been described as having, quote, bipolar vocals, end quote. Tool is kind of like that in a way, and if you scroll down as an image of Tool, yeah, they're kind of like that in a way. Yeah, I like that. I like those vocals. That's why I like Deftones. If they were all whisper and no scream, I would still like them. I think if they were all scream, I would. If Deftones was all just screaming death metal shit, I'd be like, oh, it's just one of those bands. And I know Chino's screams are kind of high and mid range, but still, even then, it'd be like, okay, cool. A metal band that has a mid range or a high screamer, but it's like, it wouldn't impress me like that much, because there is bands that have screeching, like black metal is like very high screeching, so it'd be like, oh, it's just one of those bands. But because they add the soft singing, it just makes it just different. The high screaming and the high singing, or mid-range singing. But like I said, even without the screaming, I would still, that would even be more interesting actually. They would kind of be like, there's a song called Stockholm Syndrome by Muse. That's like very heavy instrumentally, but the vocals are very soft, like in a good way, and not really screamy. Like if Deftones did all those songs like that, that would actually make me even kind of more actually interested in them. No hating his screams, and I don't hate screams in music in general. I'm just saying. I don't know, just something about his voice that I like a lot. I don't mean in a gay way or anything, but that's gonna do it for this video, I guess. Yeah, but as far as the whole, like, yeah, that's basically why I like Deftones, is because just the singer and the atmosphere of the band itself. I just love alternative metal so much. Like that's like probably my number one favorite type of metal, probably. So. Because I relate to that, because I can do that too. Like I can scream 1 minute, and I do have a mid range and a high scream. I can do kind of deep screaming, but okay, whatever. And then I break into a soft voice, because naturally that's how my voice is. I have tried to train myself to get a deeper vocal range, like listening to a lot of Mike Patton's like later stuff, his Angel Dust era and King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime era, and his other eras. Like listening to his music, Mike Patton, which Deftones is influenced by Faith No More, by the way, and The Cure and all the stuff like that. Listening to Marilyn Manson and like just people that have deep voices, they taught me. Again, not personally, but like they made me train my voice to get a little bit deeper in a way. So I kind of like expanded my vocal range. I think I have like I think I have like 3 octaves or 2.5 or something like that. So I kind of have like half of Mike Patton's vocal range, or a little bit below average, or I don't know, maybe higher. I don't know. Well, not higher than Mike Patton, but like higher than 3 octaves, maybe 3.5, or I don't know. I don't know. I took a test on the internet that told me it said 3.33 octaves, or something funny like that, like 666. I don't know. I just, but listening to, goth music in general helped me deepen my voice a little bit. To get it a little bit more. And I like doing that. I like messing around with my voice in my own music. But this has trailed off way too topic. A Deftones video should not be 25 minutes long. So this is going to do it for this video. Let me know if you want me to talk about more bands. Personally, I don't like doing that. I like sticking to my own music and my own topics of my own music. I don't like branching out way too much because I don't want to offend fans of certain bands, because I have been contemplating maybe talking about other bands to do album reviews and what I think about the bands in general and getting into all that. But I don't want to branch out too much and cause controversy with certain not the bands themselves, because they probably I highly doubt they'll watch my YouTube videos, but the fans of the bands. I don't want to get into any drama. I don't want to be Anthony Fantano ripoff and then rate an album 3 out of 5 and someone's having the panties in a bunch fucking fit about it and sending me hate because I didn't rate it a 5 out of 5, so I don't know. Or my lack of knowledge in bands, so you don't know everything about Tool and Deftones, then you're not a true fan, kind of bullshit, kind of crap. I listen to everything under the sun. I got way little time to fucking research it all. That's all I gotta say.